Hello and welcome to One Word Podcast, the most, why did they choose that word, podcast in the world. My name's Jacob, if you are joining us for the first time today, and with me today is Ned Dorf. Hi, Ned.
Hello, Jacob.
All right, Ned, can you describe yourself in 3 words? Exactly 3 words.
Vegan straight edge daddy.
You know what? I'm really proud of you for that one. Boom, you got it. All right, this should be fun. Do you think you're a master of the improv?
I'm a jack of all trades, my friend.
All right.
But not a master.
So the way that this works is I have 2 randomly selected words, and you get to choose one of them, and we're just going to talk about that word. And it's either going to be really, really good or really, really awful, and it's all on you.
Do I get a mulligan?
No, you do not. All right, so your 2 words, are you ready?
Probably not.
They're actually pretty fun ones. So, first word is bird. Second word is zombie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You got some good pickings.
Those are good.
All right.
They're good.
Which word would you like?
Well, here, let me take you through my mental conjecture first. I do love the zombie genre of comic books and TV shows and movies. I'd have to say I was reading The Walking Dead up till about when they started the TV show. So I'm a little bit behind. That was like 2009. But it's a great comic that everyone should read. Unless you're a kid, then you should not read it.
Wait, The Walking Dead is a comic series?
The Walking Dead is a fantastic.
I actually have an alt-art issue 1, so yeah, I feel you on that.
Oh, it's good. You go to the Brown County Library because they carry all the issues now.
Oh, look at that. Nice plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So zombies are great, but then I also think, man, Bird. In my grad class, I was called the Bird Nerd because I went to UW-Stevens Point for my master's degree in environmental education, and I really loved being distracted during our outdoor adventures and just checking out the birds and things like that. So that's another good word for me too. In fact, I have sons who at age 1 could identify several bird species that we had in our backyard, like chickadees and cardinals and robins.
So you're saying that these words were like perfect for you?
Oh, they were perfect for me.
All right, some people get really, really weird words. You got some pretty cool ones. So
I think
now you got to choose which one's your favorite. Which one do you want to talk about?
All right.
Don't worry, you won't make the other one feel very bad. Just kind of bad.
So I'm gonna go with deep back into my early years, and think about a very tall friend that I had. He was big and yellow. He lived on Sesame Street.
You're talking about Elmo.
You know what? When I was a kid, Elmo was not very popular.
Ah.
So that means I didn't grow up in the 90s like most people who are Elmo fans. Like, Elmo was a bit character on Sesame Street.
Is Big Bird your favorite?
Big Bird's kind of the boss, you know?
He always seems like secretly down under his nice outward exterior. He's like a thug.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's the real deal owner of Sesame Street. What?
What? I think he's the one who killed Mr. Hooper. Excuse me.
Yo, you gonna mess with me? I'm gonna send Snuffy after you.
So, for the rest of the podcast, I'll talk about Mr. Hooper's zombie.
All right, is that your final decision, zombie?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not.
I think this entire episode is just gonna be you trying to choose.
Well, I feel like that's a
Just
metaphor.
don't choose zombie birds.
That's a metaphor for America right now, really.
Oh,
We're
wow! Look at that. You went from talking about thugs on Sesame Street to talking about our socioeconomic issues and our politics.
I agree.
Oh.
I did do that.
That's how you turn the conversation drastically. It's almost like you have experience in politics.
It almost is like that. That's a wise and astute observation you've made, young Jacob.
Want me to send Snuffy after you?
Birds. Here's the thing about birds. I don't eat them. Why? As I told you in the beginning of the show, I'm a vegan straight edge daddy.
I think the E is the part that makes that
I'm a
uncomfortable.
daddy. I'm a daddy.
I'm having way too much fun with this.
That's good. But birds are beautiful creatures. But I did see this one really disturbing. Well, let me back up a little bit. There's a lot of birds. A lot of different kinds of birds.
At least 3.
There's at least robins and crows. And I don't know. There's probably another one.
Crows kind of scare me. Because, like, they hold grudges. If you do something to get them mad, they will stay mad at you forever. They're very smart.
I think their family is called the Icterid family. Can I get a check on that, judges? Icterid?
Yes.
All right.
Sure. We'll take your word on it.
So those are incredibly intelligent bird species. You've got your crows. You've got your ravens. Your orioles are kind of family members in there, too. Very intelligent species. Birds are smarter than we give them credit for. And that's maybe one of the reasons that when people say, Ned, you don't eat meat, but what about chicken? I would say, well, no. Chicken is actually meat, too. And chickens that are raised in our industrial agriculture system are cramped and injured.
And injected with a whole bunch of crazy hormones.
Filled with chemicals, absolutely. And those antibiotics go into the waste stream, into the wastewater stream, and they affect things way, way downriver. It's really a depressing topip that you picked for me, birds.
Wow.
So anyway,
yeah.
we're talking
what
about
is
birds.
a group of crows?
Group of crows is called a murder.
Yep.
A murder of crows.
That's because they will murder you.
They
They're
will.
Scary.
They hold a grudge, kind of like Big Bird.
Yo, when there's only one of me, I'm still a murderer of birds.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty good. This guy, he's got a video game podcast. You all should check it out.
Yeah, it's called Gaming Buzz. Yeah.
Gaming Buzz.
Yeah, look at that.
I really don't like video games. Can I talk about that for a little bit?
It's your show.
Angry Birds is a video game.
Yes.
Which happens to be the only one that's on a Roku player. So that's the only video game my boys have ever seen. So that's also related to this podcast.
Do you
about
play
birds.
Angry Birds?
Not really, but I did a few times, and it was all right. It wasn't
All
too
right.
bad. I mean, whatevs. I'm not a big video game fan, but I am a big bird fan.
Yeah, I have
Especially
a
Big
question
Bird.
about birds.
Yes. What's
Okay.
your question?
What's your favorite bird species?
Well, I'd have to tell you that my favorite bird species is a tie between the osprey and the peregrine falcon.
Ooh,
In fact,
fancy.
Peregrine is my son's middle name.
Really?
Yeah,
What's his first name?
Jonah.
Jonah Peregrine.
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 Yeah. So you can see on my, I can't really roll up the sleeve because of my bulging biceps here, but you can see the 2 bird tattoos I have on my shoulder.
You really like birds. Holy cow.
I should have picked that straight away. That's for my son, Jonah.
You know what my favorite bird is? The blue-footed booby.
That's a good bird.
Yeah.
I've seen
They're
those.
weird,
Yeah,
but very pretty.
they are pretty. They have blue feet, and they're called boobies.
Yep.
And that's always good for a laugh from like a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old.
Are you going to
Or
let your kids listen to
30-year-old.
this episode?
I don't think they'll stay still long enough to listen to this.
They don't want to listen about blue-footed boobies. They'd rather run and scream.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was talking about something back there about birds and chickens, and I saw another disturbing documentary. This one was about these birds in Africa, where the mother raises. I think they're kind of like storks, but not really. They're really weird looking. And the mother raises 2 eggs, raises them into their infancy, and then all of a sudden, like a few weeks in, she has to pick one of them to survive.
Wow.
So she shuns the other one completely from the nest, and it slowly starves to death.
Talk about sibling rivalry. Dead Dead babies.
Dead baby show. So then that dead baby bird comes back, actually.
Oh.
A zombie. No, it doesn't. It's just dead.
Carl! The birds are zombies, Carl!
Oh, man. Where were we going with this?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I love birds. You know what? I was in a movie last night. Well, it was premiered here in Green Bay. The screening, not the clown one, so it's not that one. But we did a movie called Hometown Habitat, I think, where this lady from Maryland went all over the country interviewing people about how are they restoring habitat in their communities. And she came to Green Bay and interviewed me for that. And Jonah Peregrine was actually in the film. So it was pretty cool. They did a screening down at the De Pere Cinema. It was free, and there were a lot of people there. And one of the reasons I do so much habitat restoration is because I feel that our urban and suburban landscapes are completely out of balance with what habitats were here prior to people moving in and erecting buildings and roads, and especially lawns. So if you want to help the birds, which I know you do, it's time for you to go down to Stone Silo in Ledgeview or another great landscaping store. Buy yourself some native plants. Buy yourself some native trees. Help out our little feathered friends, please.
Help them out. Because if you don't, Big Bird gonna get you.
Gonna get you. He's not afraid.
Yo,
Use
you
the
gonna
ship.
respect or I'm gonna flip you the bird.
That's right. I didn't even talk about that kind of bird.
Yeah. How do you feel about that kind of bird?
You know what? I did that to a guy in a really big truck recently. And it was out in rural Wisconsin. I'm not going to say the community because I don't want him to come find me. But I had Lindsay and the boys in the car, and he was very close to my bumper on a dirt road that I wasn't comfortable driving fast on. So I pulled over to the side to let him go by. But I didn't just do that graciously. I made sure to plaster my finger and hand against the window and tell him he was number one. And the most interesting thing happened. He went on past, and then he stopped.
Uh-oh.
And then he reversed.
Uh-oh.
And then he hemmed us in there on the side of the road. And I thought, well, this was something that I might have been able to get out of really easily as a single guy, and I could probably not worry too much. And but then I realized I'm not a single guy, and I have a family. So maybe it's time for me to retire that hand gesture when I'm out in public.
Now, when you're in the comfort of your own house,
Oh, then they're flying all over the place.
those birds are flying
Those
everywhere.
birds are
huh?
flying.
All right. Do you have any final thoughts on the word bird?
Don't eat them.
Don't eat them.
Love them.
Let them eat you.
Let them eat you. Let the zombie birds eat you. Amen.
Big Bird gonna come get your brain.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on. This has been fun talking with you about birds. You know your stuff.
Thanks. I felt like an idiot the whole time.
We all do. We all do. Thank you very much for coming on. If you guys want to, who are listening to this podcast, you're gonna want to go, yo, that was really, really weird, but for whatever reason, I liked it. You guys can go to www.onewordpodcast.com to check out other episodes of this podcast. Your wife did an episode, right?
She did, and I'm sure it was much better than this one.
Absolutely. So I guess that's everything we have today. So thanks for talking about birds with us.
Oh, yeah, Birdie Sanders. Word.
Birdie Sanders. Yep. Goodbye.